what advice would your future self give to you in this current moment?
It's funny that I had a client not that many years ago ask the same thing. I would say my future self would tell my current self, enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I say that because I tend to have my mind wandering in the future all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas and creativity just fly out of my head. And that also at times gets me from just sitting and enjoying the fact, like, wow, dude, like I got a roof over my head, food in my belly, but I got a dog that makes me laugh. I got a wife that is like the highest form of ride or die. Like, she loves me and I love her. I got friends that like would go to bat for me. I can make friends with somebody across the pond. You know, I've met you one time in person and like, I just think of you as a great friend already. Wow. I got a lot. There's people that are just scrounging for their next meal. Like,
that's a really cool question. You know why? It's really common. You know, what would you say to your 15-year-old self, your 19-year-old self, your 8-year-old self? So this is my future self saying something to me
right now. Yeah.
But the person right now is coming up with the advice.
It's ultimately what's something that's been on your mind.
Yeah.
That you haven't actioned. What's something that you let him skip?
I my future self, my current self would say this, but I find myself struggling with this, and that's why I know my future self will see and they'll be like, Ben, you're too arrogant in this, that. Stay humble, stay modest. You don't know everything. You actually know nothing in the scheme of the amount of things you can learn.
Yeah.
So stay humble because you might be 10 times where you were a year ago. You're just getting started.
You know, it makes me look back and wonder, like, what would I tell myself 2 years ago? And I think it would be the same. I think that I say we, but I'm really talking me, but I think it's everybody. I think that we get caught up in the fact and the question of, are we moving quick enough? And you ask yourself, you know, am I doing my best? Am I moving fast enough? And even now I'm constantly asking myself, you know, things just aren't moving as fast as I want them to. Am I doing things right? What more do I need to be doing? But then we look back several years in the future and we're like, dude, look at what I've created based on those efforts. And I think that my future self, and thank you, by the way, because I'm comforted by that question.
It's challenging.
Yeah. My future self would tell me to keep going, keep moving forward, keep doing what you're doing because you like what you're doing and you have fun doing what you're doing. So keep doing that because it's going to lead you somewhere.
Invest. Like, that's my biggest lesson this year is investments, man. It's like, I feel so stupid. Like, it's so easy to look back in hindsight. Like, if you asked me what I would have said to myself 12 years ago, it would have been to start CrossFit or like start doing something because I was so tired from sitting at a desk and exercising. So it's always in hindsight, I wish I could have said this to myself. But what I'm learning now is like, shit, if I started taking just 10% of my salary when I was 18, I would have hundreds of grands in the account now, earning me money. So so I think obviously I've learned that lesson now. So that's the
hard one, isn't it? Because you don't have a future. It's being okay being at the beginning. It's being okay being a first timer, being a virgin, being able to stay consistent on things, even though when your brain says no. Everybody's teaching the same things. It's just the same stuff, different shit, same shit, different smell, whatever you want to call it. The difference is how you deliver that, how you connect with your people and the relationships you're going to build. That's the most important. The systems, the tactics, all of that shit is the same. It's the same stuff. The only thing that matters is the fulfillment side of things. Are we happy with what we're doing right now? And to understand that in order to have growth, you need to have stress plus rest. Stress plus rest equals growth. So you just need to know when to fucking put the foot on the pedal and when to put it off the pedal. Just enjoy what you're fucking doing, you know, and just be consistent with it. Just show up, even when you don't want to show up. That's the whole point of fucking discipline, you know?
I can very honestly say, probably not much in this current moment. I've done a lot of work and done a lot of changes in my life to be in the position I'm in. I'm doing exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. Very happy, rock solid relationship. It really can't get much better than what we've got going at the moment. But if my future self could talk to myself, let's say even 5-6 years ago, he would say, don't be so angry. A lot of us walk around just pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's news, people on the train, work, just this constant level of stress and we just put that out there. And mate, I was the worst. I had so much anger. That anger come out in violence a lot of the time, you know, it comes out in pain in your body. And until I let go of that, you know, it was just so tough, just pissed off all the time. And you don't want to live like that.
It's a tough question. That's a very difficult question because there's so much unknown. I think what my future self would tell me would be, you're on the right track. Don't get distracted. Right? You're on the right track. Put in the work now, but also keep things in perspective. There's just like so much advice my future self could tell me, but I think that's the core is focus on what you're doing. Don't lose sight of what's really important. Get ready to dig down deep. It's going to get tough. So be prepared for the challenges, embrace them, and overcome. I don't know. I feel like I could, that's a really tough question. But at least in the place where I'm at in my life, I understand that the next couple of years are going to be immensely challenging, immensely challenging. Lots of clients, lots of financial challenges. We're going into what's potentially a really bad, maybe the worst market of our lifetime. But I think I would just I'd hopefully reassure myself that I'm on the right path.